Okay, so I'm going to just do some basic brake processing. I've got the funky drummer loop here, and I'm just going to mono it because it's currently in stereo. So using Reaper, I just got some key presses set up for things that I commonly do. I tend to like clean up the brake before I then process it further. So here we go. We set to roughly 100 BPM. I'm not too fussy about it. I'm just going to chop this up and get it more in time. So I have my mouse cursor and a key set so that I can chop wherever I put my mouse. So I'm just going to do some big chops first, just on the kicks and on the snares and whatever. And then I'm gonna try and keep the funk in the brake, obviously. So I'm not going to set it completely quantized. Let's just set my grid to something a bit more. I haven't got many of my key commands set up properly here, so I have to do some things manually for now. Right, okay, so I'm going to chop this. I'm probably going to speed it up by putting it to 100 BPM or locking it into 100 BPM. And then we'll do a bit of processing, then probably pitch up the brake after that. So just gonna again keep the funk for now. Can sort the timing out in a while. Yeah, you can see it's going to need stretching out a little bit here. When I say stretching, I just mean like resequencing a bit. So let's have a look here. So even our start points are off as well. I like to have my envelopes set quite tight, and then I can just change them up as I go along. So I do quite often fade out the end just to stop any clicks. It's a lot of effort, but it's worth it, and I can reuse the brake again another time, so it's worth putting that bit of effort in there. See, this one goes slightly over, so I'm going to take that to there, fade that out a bit. These little bits in between as well, might have to sort them out as well, but we'll just see how we go. Right, that might be... Right, okay, so what we might do, stretch this out here. It's just this bit, so I don't want to put too much of a gap in. I'm going to leave it a little bit off. Or am I? I might just actually move that along, and then I might pitch the whole thing down a bit, just to keep them lengths to make sense. So let's do that. Select all of these. I'm going to pitch it all down just a tiny bit, not that much. Do you know what? I'm even going to get rid of half of that for now because it's in my way. Do you know what? I reckon we can do this. Yeah. Still a bit of an unnatural gap there. Just see what we've got at the beginning of this. A bit more tail there. Once we bring this up to speed, this isn't even going to be a problem, but Like I say, we clean up the break a bit first, and then we'll bounce it, re-chop until it all makes sense. I'm more interested in cleaning up the hits than the timing right now. See, the second one's quite good anyway. Let's move that back. Just make sure we don't fade that transient in too much. Sorry if it's a bit boring and a bit lacking in talking while I do this bit, but I'm just tightening it all up. Okay. Do you know what? I'm actually going to leave it. That's fine. So. It's about 105. Some of this might look a little bit crazy, but it will make sense eventually. Don't know why we're missing. Whoa, that's what we're missing there. Ah, come on. We'll get there in a second. There we go. It's got a little bit of overlap from where I turned it up to 105 BPM. So just going to sort that out piece by piece. Hopefully the starts are all good anyway. And then that last bit, which was perfectly in time at 100, we're just going to have to chop it up a piece to make it work out correctly. Yeah, that's going to have a little gap. The little gaps make absolutely no difference to anybody. No one's going to hear them when they're being played back. Especially once finished processing the drums as well. So yeah, the cleanup process is pretty boring, to be honest, but you know, it needs to be done. Sometimes as well you shorten a hit and you can just put a little fade in there. I need to turn follow off. I can't remember the key command. I think it's F or something. Control F. Do you know what? I don't even think we need to. Yeah, I could make that come in slightly earlier. Maybe just shorten that piece just a little bit. It's giving it a bit of swing anyway. There's a few little unnatural sounding bits here, but to be honest, it's probably gonna be okay if we just move a few pieces. Okay, so let's have a look at the setup here. So again, all I'm worried about right now is getting this sounding better, and then we'll re-chop. So I'm going to send this to my drum bus. Okay. So I'm just going to sort my gain out here a bit. Okay, because everything's going to get boosted a bit when we start doing some processing. But I think for now, just as it is, I'm going to bounce that as a new channel, and then we're going to re-chop it again. So bounce to mono, just come out very quiet because I've put it into the bus and the bus was a lot louder. So let me just correct that or undo that. So I'm going to leave the mistakes in here as well. Okay, there we go. I might have to take a little bit of gain off. Well, I want the gain because I want the crunch of the mic preamp, but okay. So really, that original channel, I'm just going to get rid of that. Always commit and just get on. That's what I like to do now. I never used to keep every single version of everything, but you know, life's too short, so. I don't usually use it, but I might actually just quickly try the dynamic split because we've cleaned it up, so it might work if I can remember where it is. I don't use it very often. Dynamic split, there it is. I could have hit D and that would have done it for me. So at transients, minimum slice length, whatever, threshold. No? Oh, let's make sure we select the thing first. Okay, so minimum slice length. Not fussed about the silence, so let's get this threshold. Yeah, I'm not sure I like it, to be honest. I think I'm just going to do it manually as I normally do. So I think I've got Shift S. Nope. Alt S. Remember some of my shortcuts sometimes. Control S. Nope. Must be Shift. No, it's not. Okay, we're just going to hit S then. We'll just do it on the mouse. And then correct afterwards. I think I actually had it so if you do it here, it does the mouse. If you do here, no. Like I say, I'm just gonna leave the whole painful process in this video, just because. Okay, so before I do any of this, then let me tell this sample that we are not going to change the speed of the item. So I'm just going to set its position only, which means when I turn the project tempo up, it's not going to try and pitch shift it or change anything on the break. Okay, so now, because we're going so much faster, we'll be able to correct this a bit better. If I keep it at this pitch, we'll see. Yeah, I think we are going to pitch it up a bit. It's a little bit unnatural. Right, let's do this. Not quite 4, we'll go 2. Yeah. Okay. Painstaking, eh? See, it's not all glamorous making jungle. There's a lot of painful process involved if you want to do it properly. You could just get something, use recycle, chop it up, but I like to know what's going on. Also, I can put groove into it if I need to, if I want to hit slightly different. I can just like move the audio in place. Okay, such as that. Most of these are going to be made smaller. Okay, right, I've got to stop this follow. Let's F, is that it? Oh, I can't remember. This is something that would be really simple for some people, but I never use this option. I'm pretty sure I had a key press on my last computer. No follow there. Mm. Hmm. Not sure. Can't remember. Okay. So let's do some rough chops. I can always move these along correctly later if I need to. So shorten that. Oops. I'm going to trust my eyes and then we'll listen back and see what's what. This is going to be the fun one. So we have to decide where we're going to allow that to be chopped. Yeah, could get away with that. So this we're going to lose a fair bit of the tail. I'm not saying it's going to have to be on the bar on the chop. It is very difficult with these vocal bits to get it right. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, very pitched there. Let's try and move that. Whoa, there. Do you know what a lazy person would do? Get rid of it. And then maybe take one of those there. We're going to do some metalhead style. Obviously I'm not going to do that, I just felt like doing that because I could hear the funky drummer. Right, so let's get this sounding a bit rougher now. Anyone who knows me knows I hammer the UAD. Just going to use the Revy. Yeah. The other good thing about Reaper is you can every plugin has a wet dry knob on it, so you can actually like parallel process. You haven't got as much control, but it's less hassle than having loads of different channels and stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that in like that. And then let's get some grit into the actual audio as well. This might go before the 1176 as well, so let's go decimal, see what we can do with this. Dialing that back out again just adds a little bit of texture to the break. Whoa. There's quite a lot of gain going on here again, but I'll sort it out later. I'm pretty I like to just move on with these things sometimes. But yeah, this give this a quick save. Okay, and there's a little bit of flavouring up a break, chopping it from scratch. You can see this was from an old sample pack that used to be out online. I've got loads of original breaks as well, but I just thought for the video I'll just do something simple. Yeah, follow me, subscribe, and I'll try and put some more advanced stuff coming up in the future. Cheers.